This life for believers is the closest thing to hell that we will ever experience.
Yeah.
But for a non-believer, this life is the closest thing to heaven that they will ever get.
Rattles your soul.
Yeah. It was kind of always, to me, like, it's Sunday morning, you go to church. I would have sleepovers with my friends, and my mom's like, okay, but we're picking you up to go to church. And I'm like, do you have to? Like, I wanna hang out with my friends. And she's like, well, we can bring them. Like, they can come to church with us. And I was like,
Great
okay.
line.
Yeah,
Great
so
line. We can bring
we would
them.
all go. My friends would sleep over at our house and we'd go to church. But for me, it was never really about my actual relationship with Christ. My family's massive. Like, our holidays are like 60 people. Like, there's
Also
lot
a
of us.
blessing.
Yeah, and I mean, I had all of my grandparents and great-grandparents until I was 19 years old. I had an easy childhood. I hadn't experienced any loss. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people, now that I'm more set in my faith and more open and I feel more secure in it, I love to talk to people about it. And a lot of people ask, they're like, you're so strong in your faith, but like, if there's this God, why is the world so broken? And why do so many bad things happen? And I'm like, looking back at my life, I wasn't strong in my faith when my life was going perfectly smooth. Like, it wasn't until I experienced struggles and loss and grief and things like that where I, ran to God in times of hurting. It's so easy to get caught up in worldly happiness, like the things that I felt fulfilled in because I had good friends, I had a good family, we had a roof over our head.
Quite frankly, you just don't think you need him. It's kind of like your own God at that point or something. I mean, you don't think like that, right?
Right.
But when you boil it all down, it's kind of like what you're thinking.
Got to middle school and my friends, there was about 8 of us, a good group of girls, and we would go to youth groups and stuff together. And there was this one girl, her name was Maggie, and she was always encouraging everyone to go to church and everyone to go to youth group. When we were in 8th grade, she ended up committing suicide. Really, like, shook my faith. And that's like when I feel like I was really starting to get into it, because I'm like, my friends are going to church, like, this is a real thing, that like we're all encouraging each other to do, and we're all prioritizing in our lives, and we're learning about trusting in God and God's plan for us. That really confused me.
Yeah.
And I was very lost. And I think I wouldn't say that I turned away from God, but I definitely didn't turn to him. Looked for peace and comfort in the world with, friends and activities and things like that, trying to stay busy and not think about how much it was hurting me. How do I go to the people that have raised me in the church and encouraged me all my life and be like, I don't know how I feel with, like, my relationship with God is like totally not there right now.
Yeah.
And also, I think that would have broken their hearts. My dad, I wouldn't say that they were strict, but they were protective. They didn't want me out late. I had a curfew. I don't remember if it was 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock, but if I was home a minute late, my dad would be standing on the front porch, and he was like...
That's also love.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, and I mean, he was 6'8", so like
I know your dad.
He was intimidating.
He's intimidating. He's physically intimidating.
Yeah, like, you get home and there's a 6'8" man on the porch the height of the door, and you're like, oh man. April of 2021, my dad got very sick. I'm the oldest with 2 younger siblings, and my dad was in and out of the hospital. He was diagnosed with HLH April 20th of 2021, which is a very rare blood disorder. So basically, his blood cells attacked his immune system. He's never been dramatic, ever.
He's like your solid rock kind of guy.
Yeah, he's always he was always like the calm, cool, and collected one. I remember we spent my birthday in the hospital eating cupcakes and milkshakes. The nurses made us milkshakes. Father's Day was in the hospital. My brother's birthday, we were in the hospital. Wow. My dad was going through chemo, so we would take him to that. He couldn't drive after a little while, and he had just bought his dream car. My dad never complained. Like, you could tell he didn't feel good. He was hurting and he was in pain. But the main thing that he always told us and that we always talked about was he knew where he was going. At least when we were there, like held it together and
Such a good dad thing to do.
yeah.
Such an act of love.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it was a very good representation, I think, of how he parented. Him and my mom both didn't have the childhood that I had. Like, they both had rougher upbringings. My dad went to Milton Hershey, and he graduated from there. I mean, even his nurses, like when he was in the hospital, they would tell us, they're like, does he complain at home? And we're like, every now and then, but like, not really. And they're like, we have not heard him complain. That also kept us on track with our faith. And multiple times, like through when he was in the hospital, I remember 3 specific times that the doctors, the doctors told my mom that we needed to prepare ourselves. Blood levels were getting very bad. Like, the doctors were very worried and they were very concerned, and they were like, we don't know what else we can really do. Like, we're kind of running out of options here. And that same day, my dad sat us outside of the med center on a bench. And that's when he told me that he had never been baptized as a kid, because his dream was to get baptized with his oldest child, which was me. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, I had literally never known that. He was really just in the hospital the whole time. The whole summer, we never got a chance to do that. And that same night, about 30 people gathered outside of the med center, friends, family, and we just stood outside and prayed over him, and listened to the song Waymaker, because that was his song. Like, throughout his whole journey, that song, he came back to that a lot. And the next morning, my mom went into the hospital. They're going over his blood levels, and the doctors said, we have no medical explanation for how much he improved overnight. Like, we couldn't have given him anything or done anything for him to have this much of an improvement overnight. They're like, we don't know what you believe, like if you're religious or not. They were like, but there was something behind this.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
The medical practitioner said that too.
Yeah, actually, we decided that my mom and my dad were going to move to Boston for my dad's treatment. He was scheduled for a stem cell transplant. When we left the hospital, all of the nurses from his floor were clapping and cheering for us. And I just remember my whole family, like, walking behind him sobbing.
Sure.
Like, it's just such an overwhelming feeling of love that's like, he had this impact on so many people. Still going through chemo, and then eventually it just kind of all stopped working. And that was the last time that we were all in the same room, yeah. And this was also, they had very strict COVID policies, and the hospital had a policy that you could only have 2 people in the room at the same time. His nurse snuck all of us into the room so that we could all be together. We, like, still talk about her. I mean, she probably, I don't know if she remembers us or not, but, like, we will forever remember her.
Yes.
I mean, it was a very difficult situation, but she really helped us, like, have a very
beautiful
good last time. Our last time that we were all together, all we did was laugh, and I feel like that really sums up a lot of our family. We laughed a lot. He talked about heaven. Bittersweet day. Like, we're very glad that we could all be together, but it was also very rough. We've all learned the value of life and how quickly it can change. You know, every day that you wake up is a blessing from God, and every day that you get to spend with people around you that you love and that love you, and you get to share laughter and memories and things like that, those are all such blessings that I think I started to really grasp sacrifice Jesus made so that we can go to heaven and we can all be together again for an eternity. And that was always instilled in us. You know, Kyler, Brindley, and I, we always knew that as in our strong family of faith that we would get to see each other again, but we never ever thought that our dad would be really, like, drive that for us. When I lost my friend Maggie in 8th grade versus when I lost my dad were 2 totally different experiences. You can either be transformed by your faith or you can conform to the world. In some sense, you're always forming to something.
That's right.
But it's just kind of, if you're conforming or if you're transforming. And I think when Maggie passed away, I really conformed with the world. I was very confused versus when my dad passed, I think it transformed a lot in my faith for me. Part of it too was just like his attitude with the whole thing.
It testified so much.
Yeah. And I've known people that have lost their parents, and I've seen families spiral from it. I really have to be grateful for every day that I spend with the people that are still here with me.
Yeah.
I've talked to a lot of people, you know, since all of that have been like, you know, how did you get through it? Not by myself, that's for sure. Given my struggles to God, and I have turned to him in my times of weakness and in my times of hurting, and it like is a totally different world. In the phase of my faith that I'm in, like, emotionally grateful for everything, every aspect of it, of Jesus's life, and all the ways that he healed people, helped people. And he was like, I want this for you. This is how I can share his life with others. You know, I know how I feel, and I know my relationship with God, and I want other people to know that too. When my dad said that he wanted to get baptized with me, like the thought, when I really heavily considered baptism, like for the first time, I envisioned my dad beside me. Ways that I envisioned my baptism going. I envisioned my dad being there. I thought about it, you know, being in the lake at the cabin. We'll be in church and it's worship and I'm just reading the words, and I just like, my eyes tear up because I'm like, this is so true. Like every word of it is just so, I'm just so overwhelmingly grateful, like every day. This life for believers is the closest thing to hell that we will ever experience. But for a non-believer, this life is the closest thing to heaven that they will ever get.
Rattles your soul.
Yeah.
What a delight to get